Welcome, Toonami faithful. You're checking out Rebel Taxi.
This broadcast is intended solely for the enjoyment of our audiences.
1997 began the start of Toonami. Hosted by Moltar of Space Ghost, the afternoon Cartoon Network lineup gave us 80s action cartoons, 60s superheroes, alongside new stuff like Beast Wars, Reboot, and the new adventures of Johnny Quest. For some reason, Toonami had a grudge against Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest packs his bags.
What kid?
And Tanami goes to war.
We'll remember you, Johnny, as that pathetic has-been on Venture Brothers. At least your last name wasn't Test. Soon after, Toonami began focusing mostly on Japanese shows with the likes of Sailor Moon, Gundam, and what they titled the greatest action show around, Dragon Ball Z.
The fighters who face Boo fail.
Gohan, Vegeta are dead.
Even Goku's gonna need some help with this one.
We never seen animation like this. Planets blowing up, people dying, sexual predators. Nickelodeon would never air this.
Don't!
Be honest with yourself. At one point in your life, you tried to do a Kamehameha. When I was 7, I used to raise my hand in the air and twirl around, hoping I'd transform like Sailor Moon, but let's never discuss that. In this era, anime was almost unheard of, as well as the internet. Check out the prices for Trigun. That's not a full season, that's just 4 episodes. Toonami was the best way to watch anime. It created a generation of anime fans and since then ruined many of their lives, while other channels began following the trend. Which I remember thinking, why does Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon look so similar? Were they created by the same person? Let that be a commentary on the anime art style.
I see a lot of new faces trying to break into the action cartoon biz. I guess that makes us OGs.
In 2000, Toonami upgraded their look to feature a new host, Tom, voiced by Sony Straight, also known as Krillin.
So it's a brand new Toonami, but the mission objectives remain the same. My name is Tom. I'm the new Moltar.
The first time I saw him, I thought he was Bomberman, but he must have had presence for me to remember my first viewing. The massive ship transmitting shows and ambient music made it seem so villainous, which raises the question, who built this ship and why? It's pretty big for one single robot. There had to been people on there. What happened to them? The NASA program better not be spending my tax dollars just so some robot can live in space watching cartoons all day.
A mechanized army of circuitry and metal, cold and emotionless, carry out tasks without conscience.
The way they promoted the shows enhanced the mood, with either the host at the time or Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, to play announcer. One quote in particular actually used to scare me.
Youth is wasted on the young.
You're just like, damn, this ain't no kid show. TVY7 just got real. Every promo ended with such an intense tagline.
It's darkest just before dawn.
Don't fear the Reaper.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Turn your head and cough.
Excuse me?
A day which will live in infamy.
Yeah, the day that will live in infamy quote originated when FDR addressed the nation on the Pearl Harbor attacks. You know, Japan bombing American ships, America bombing Japan, and making a crappy movie about it. Not the best line to use for an anime block.
The Intruder. A week-long Toonami event where you affect the outcome.
Within a year, they replaced the host during a 5-day-long event where we followed Tom on his own adventures between commercials. This was done every so often. Viewers would vote on something or participate through an online game. The result here had Tom brutally melted by an angry curtain. So became the creation of Tom 2, the true voice of Toonami, played by Steve Bloom of Cowboy Bebop fame.
Nighttime at Toonami's changing, but it's always for the better.
Come on.
This was the high point, an afternoon block, midnight, Saturday morning, and maybe a 24-hour marathon.
Toonami Super Saturday, every Saturday 11 to 2.
Sometimes you amaze even me.
Outside is overrated.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that. To promote their Saturday lineup, Cartoon Network released Raptors all across the nation. Surprisingly, it was a complete PR disaster. Thousands died. Society basically shut down until poachers finally caught them all.
It wasn't a holly jolly Christmas that year.
While on Saturday nights, there was a different lineup called the Saturday Video Entertainment System. It had the same shows as Toonami, but it wasn't Toonami. Still, I love those bumpers. Other than exposing underage kids to action shows and male genitalia, there were special showings of music videos by Gorillaz and Daft Punk, movies by Hayao Kawasaki Jet Ski, the first 2 episodes of Sega Genesis EV Jellyton, heavily censored for children of all ages, and short game reviews too. They were actually honest criticisms and sometimes inappropriately touched on obscure games too.
I've played it like 9,000 times and I can't... I mean, it's only the 6th level.
But what some seemed to appreciate most was the inspirational lessons they edited together through so many clips.
Space. A boy has the right to dream. There are endless possibilities stretched out before him.
To trust in your own power.
Whatever happens from now on, you stand firm and face your destiny without fear, but with courage.
Some argue Toonami was just a set of bumpers. Those people are a bunch of cunts. It set the mood transitioning between show and commercial. There was a mascot that talked directly to the audience, like a friend who showed us things we never knew existed. The early 2000s was the best years of Toonami, but after 2 programming blocks came along, soon began the slow decline. No matter what came after, none of those blocks ever had the impact Toonami had.
After all, who brought you DBZ?
That's right.
Who brought you Gundam? Who brought you your favorite old shows? And some new ones you hadn't even scoped yet. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs. We appreciate y'all sticking with us. But I promise, the mission remains the same.
Oh yeah, I've still got it, baby!
Keep your eyes peeled for some new stuff coming down the pike. I've got to keep a lid on it for now, but I think you'll be pleased.
Ow, fire!
Till the sun rises on a world without Toonami, we remain the first and still the best. Only Toonami.